to talk about jaw pain. That's one of the more common concerns people have with a dental device, and it's one of those things that typically we can work through a little bit together offline. So when I'm talking about jaw pain specifically, I'm talking about pain you're experiencing along your cheek here, possibly along the angle of your jaw, maybe up in your head. I am not talking about pain that's specifically right in front of your ear. That would be more of a joint issue, and I'm going to address that in another video. But if you're experiencing pain in your cheek here, it could be one side, it could be both sides, but just this general area. And typically when people have this type of pain, it's more of a dull, achy, sore type of pain. It doesn't usually feel like a sharp electric stabbing pain. That can also be something different. So this kind of dull, achy, muscle type of pain is what we're going to focus on in this video. Now, a really good way to kind of verify that it is your muscles that are causing the problem and not anything else is if you were to kind of gently put your finger in the site where it's hurting the most and just gently kind of touch your teeth together, typically by either touching the area or clenching your teeth together is going to provoke the pain a little bit more, and you're going to be able to feel it a little bit more. So when people are experiencing this type of pain, it is a muscle-centric pain, and it can be from a couple of things. First, it could be from the fact that your appliance is new in your mouth, and your entire life you've been taught and trained that if you have something in between your teeth, you need to chew it up. Okay, now I'm putting this big foreign piece of plastic in your mouth, and your body wants to chew it up. And so a little bit of it is just getting used to the feel of the appliance and the comfort of it, and then kind of training yourself that when your appliance is in your mouth, we still want you to focus on having your lips together, but your teeth apart, so that when the teeth are apart, the muscles are in a more of a relaxed state. But if you spend all 6, 7, 8 hours of the night clenching and chewing on this piece of plastic, then you're gonna experiencing fatigue in those muscles, okay? Now, it's similar to doing a really heavy workout. When the muscles are sore and tender, it kind of hurts to touch them, but you want to touch them. And so people have a tendency to want to really over-exaggerate and chew and feel and move their jaw around when they're having a kind of an acute flare-up of muscle pain. But typically the best thing that you can do for your body is just relax, take a break a little bit, especially during your waking hours, okay? So that's important to kind of consider. Is the pain worse when you have the appliance in your mouth while you're sleeping? Then it could be something with the fit of the appliance that we need to adjust or modify or move your jaw. If the pain is worse at the end of the day, after you've been awake all day, that typically means you're doing something during the day, clenching while you're driving, clenching while you're working, but you have some sort of activity, habit, abnormal habit that you're doing during waking hours that you need to kind of identify and break and reset. Now, when you are looking at the appliance itself, a couple of things I want you to just double check for me. First, I want you to have the appliance in your mouth and make sure that when you have it in your mouth and both sides are kind of biting together, you feel both sides connect relatively evenly. We want a little bit of balance between both sides. It doesn't need to be super precise because you'll have a different bite if your head is in a different position, but we do want some level of balance. That's first. Then I also want you to make sure that you feel like with your jaw being pulled forward, that your jaw feels even on your train tracks and is not being pulled off to the side. If you feel that you're being pulled off to one side or another, then that's something I need to look at for you, because the bars could be uneven, or we need to make a little bit of a modification based on the way that your jaw is moving. Additionally, what we want you to double check is When the appliance is in your mouth, does it feel like you're being held open really wide? And you can't get your mouth to close and shut? And in those situations, again, we would want to look at the appliance and see if we can close the appliance down just a little bit to give you a little bit more of a comfortable opening. But with all of these things, if it does feel like it's a muscle-related pain, the things that you can do to help address it is, first, we want to make sure your sleep quality is good with your appliance. If your sleep quality is not good, then we need to have a conversation together to make adjustments to the appliance and see if we can modify it to get you breathing a little bit better so that you're not fighting the appliance so hard. Okay. Now, if your sleep quality is good and the position is good, then we need you to just identify, could it be possibly a stressful time in your life, something's happening at work or at home that's creating a little bit of stress, so you're having a little bit of extra tension and you're carrying that tension in your face. And so in those situations, we just want you to kind of find some activities that can be relaxing to you, whether it's a workout, meditation, yoga, book, something like that, where you can kind of find some time to be for yourself and have a little bit of zen. I want you to, again, focus on, in your waking hours, keeping your lips together, but your teeth apart. Lips together, teeth apart. Ideally, your teeth should only be touching about 10 minutes a day. That is when you are chewing and swallowing. If you are doing that any more during the day, you're working your muscles too hard, you're wearing your teeth, and we need you to kind of reset that. So during an acute flare-up, you can use over-the-counter ibuprofen or Tylenol, and that can be helpful to just calm the pain down and the swelling. I would recommend ibuprofen is best if you're able to take that, and I would take 600 milligrams every 6 hours for a few days in a row. I don't want you taking this forever, but for a couple of days is okay. And then I also want you to focus on having a softer diet for a few days. And by that, I just mean avoid really hard, crunchy, chewy type of foods, pastas, soups, eggs, those kinds of things can be really good. And then additionally, if you need to, you can use a little bit of heat. My favorite way to get some heat on your face is to take a sock, put a little bit of rice in it, and put it in the microwave for 20 seconds. Now you have a very small moldable heating pad that you can put on the site. Heat it up for 10 minutes or so. Do this twice a day, no more than. And then after the muscles have gotten some heat to them, then you can do some gentle massage or stretching. So just gentle finger pressure right in the tight muscles. If your muscles feel like they're wanting to be shut and your mouth is wanting to close, then you can just gently open to the point where you're starting to feel resistance. Gently open the mouth and kind of separate the teeth and stretch and hold for a few seconds. And then another great exercise, which I know I like to show people, is getting your thumb inside of your mouth along the top teeth towards the back. You'll feel a ropey band of tissue in where you can kind of grab the whole meaty belly of the muscle and gently push outwards and hold for about 3 to 5 seconds like this. And that will help to kind of loosen up some of the clamping forces of the muscles themselves. So some very gentle jaw movements. You could do it in the shower, can also be great, where you can get a little bit of heat on the muscles. Gentle opening. Don't ever take it to the point of pain, but some point of resistance. So massage, stretching, also doing some upper body stretching. We have a lot of problems with our posture, so stretching your shoulders and your back and your neck can also help to loosen up some of the tension. Now, if this doesn't feel like your situation is more acute than this, or you're feeling more of a sharp stabbing thing, or you're experiencing something with your appliance that doesn't feel like it's fitting quite right, or it's been ongoing for more than a week, all of those things, I really would hope that you would please give us a call so that I can get you in my office and we can really identify what's going on with you a little bit further. But typically these are just a short-lived thing and often ebb and flow based on your life. So think about all of that. Hopefully this is beneficial for you, gives you some information to process. And if that isn't the case for you, then I'm happy to see you so we can look at it further. Thank you.